Whoa there, Turbo. Oh man, check this out. It's the TurboPad for the TurboGrafx 16 game console. Yes, a beastly 16-bit console that's often forgotten when compared to, the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, which were much more popular. But this is a pretty interesting system. It actually came out in Japan before those other two were released, which was 1987. And it came out in the US in 1989. A little bit slow getting over here. But anyways, this is the controller that it used, the TurboPad. So as you can see, it's pretty similar to the 8-bit NES controller. So you've got a D-pad, a select button, and a run button. Basically, select and start. Just had to be different, the run. And then you got a 2 button and a 1 button instead of A and B. You do have some kind of nifty turbo controls, however. So you can set how fast you want your turbo settings to be. If you have it down all the way, that's normal. But yeah, this is definitely a pretty slick little controller. A little bit less advanced than some of the other systems, like the Super Nintendo controller has shoulder buttons, 4 face buttons, and a much better D-pad. That's one complaint I have of this. The D-pad's a little bit soft. You can also compare it to the Sega Genesis controller. It does have a similar kind of black, sleeker look, but yeah, this one has 6 buttons. The original Genesis controller had 3, so you had a little bit more to work with for gameplay. But this is still definitely a solid one, very comparable to the NES, even in same shape, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I kind of like simplicity in controls. There's definitely something to be said for that. And here's what the controller cord looks like. You've got 8 pins, and that hooks into your TurboGrafx 16 console, which we'll be taking a look at very soon here on Undertow. And if you're not familiar with the console, the TurboGrafx 16 actually only comes with 1 controller port. So we're also going to look at something else here. This is the TurboTap, an essential piece of hardware for any TurboGrafx 16 owner that wants to play with other people. So you can have up to 5 players with this thing. So this just goes into your 1-player port, and like so. And this is also a good chance to take a look at a common problem with some of the TG16 controllers. It's really easy to pull this part out of this kind of rubbery plastic material. So in this case, I actually have one stuck in this port. It's kind of tricky to get out, so I just left it in, and with the other cable I've got, you can kind of shove it back on and it'll work just fine. But otherwise, plugs in just like so. And you've got multiplayer action. So that's the TurboTap. It's essential if you can find it. It's the HES Tap 01. So there you have it. That's the TurboPad, a forgotten relic of old school gaming past. Yeah, the TurboGrafx 16 is a pretty cool console. It's too bad there's not many games for it, and they're pretty hard to come by these days, but you can find them on eBay and stuff. And a lot of the games are getting re-released for stuff like Wii's Virtual Console and stuff like that, so that's pretty awesome. But otherwise, keep an eye on this channel for some more TurboGrafx hardware reviews coming soon.